Hey, well, this is just kind of a follow-up to some things. Yesterday in Ohio Woo Crew, I posted stuff about that I had phenomena up the wazoo. Boy, mm. It seemed like it was something after something after something. But tonight was very uneventful. I went out tonight and nothing going on. So, but I did want to explain a little bit about yesterday. I posted some pictures, and I had a very clear picture in the beginning of one of those videos of that lozenge-shaped thing in the sky. And I look at it again, and that part is missing. And I just wanted to say to those of you who saw it, I'm sorry you saw a lot of the pavement and everything else, and not very much of the lozenge-shaped object. I can't help that. Hey, so, you old so-and-so, you're a little bit on the blue side. Well, we'll fix that. Else calls me Heidi. Yodelety-hoo. Okay. Hey, I am Pam is here. Chris is here. Hey, Chris. Thank you for coming, everybody. Marie is here. I said I'd try to do it a little closer, a little earlier, so that some people who can't be late can get in. Yeah, we had a 4-hour stream. I was just out with my favorite allergy, leaf mold. I was outside anyway with the leaf mold. So if I cough, it's leaf mold, but it's okay. I want to be outside anyway. I will put up with it in order to be outside on a beautiful day. It would not be so bad if it wasn't for the rain, though, that we've been having. That's really growing the mold, and then the warm weather. So, elbow cough. So there. It's what I feel about your elbow cough. Hey, Marie. Mary Lena. And who is it? Carrie's in here. Hi, Carrie. Nessie! I missed you. Where have you been? We've been having all kinds of fun. And you weren't here, though. Sweetie, I missed you. And So is in here. And Carrie made it. This is just great. Okay, great. Like I said, I feel like the way to go is going to be, my preferred method is just to have something in my back pocket in case nobody else wants to say anything, but really let the stream write itself. Just treat it like it's a living animal, its own beast, and let it write itself. You know what? I sprayed for visitors, but they still show up sometimes. Ooh, and dumplings. What dumplings? Yeah, the internet cut out just as you know what? There was all kinds of things that were just, that stream had to come to an end because it was 4 hours long. So if you guys, I mean, you'd have to, in order to get the whole stream, you'd have to run it behind your other stuff that you're doing. You'd probably have to just play it behind while you're cooking dinner or something, because that was 4 hours. Oh my goodness. I may have to go back to some of these and break them up into shorter segments so people can watch them. But when we get started, we just don't want to stop. We get started and we just We just want to go. Oh, oh, MeWe's buffering and you can't open it. Oh. Grr. You know what? You need to go to Bommy and Ness's support group, Marie, if you can. But Ness and Bomber can help you with that. They know more about MeWe than I do. Hey, Linda, how you doing? Didn't feel that long. I'm glad. Yeah, me too. I gave the same speech I give most spirits that are confused. That's my standard speech. Is look, I've been dead. I've been over there. It's not bad. They're not going to hurt you. God loves you. You're not going to get hurt. You're only going to learn from what happened to you in this life. That's what you're going to do. The only thing that might be even slightly scary is the review. If you've been a really nasty person, the review might be a little scary, but really, no, you're not going to be like tortured horrifically for your whole existence or something. It just doesn't work that way. God, that isn't really what God is like at all. Thank goodness that it isn't that way. And Linda, let's see, did I not say anything else? Marie glitches badly from time to time. Yeah, it does for me sometimes too. Isn't that interesting how we have so much fun that the only way I can tell that it's been 4 hours is how my butt and my back feel. They start telling me, you know what, we've been in here a while. We need a little bit of rest, but other than that, it's just the rest of me is just like I could go for another 4 hours. It's like I just feel like because I'm so happy when I'm with you. I'm so happy when we're in here doing this stuff, talking about this stuff. This is just wonderful. Oh, hi, you found us when you're having fun. Okay, Marie. Oh, 3 a.m. for you here? Oh, my goodness. Okay, Marie, big hugs. Love you. Marilena is in South Africa, so she's on a whole different time. Yeah, she's on South Africa time, so it's very different for her. Love you too, dear. Yeah, I'm trying to come on at different times so different people can be on the lives. So some people can be on some lives and some people can be on different because I know people got to work, people got to sleep, people got to see other shows, you know. And there's other things you might want to see besides me. So, it's like I'm trying to give everybody a chance to show up to a live is what I'm trying to do by having it on just at different times, at different odd times. Because this is all about you guys. I'm just driving. I'm flying the ship. I got to keep it from crashing. Last night, the only thing I got to say is I was a little worried because we almost got into a disagreement about what kind of salt. I'm there. We just had a miracle and we're talking about salt. We're we're having a disagreement over what kind of salt he should be soaking in. And I'm like, yeah, let's not do that. I gotta steer here, and one thing I gotta steer away from stuff that's divisive because not that you can't disagree, it's just that it was getting technical and we were running into 4 hours, and I'm like, let's celebrate what we have here. We just gave a guy his life back. We just gave a spirit his existence back. We just did something wonderful here. And you know what part of the problem is, and I was told this by one of my teachers, Rika. She said, when you're exhausted, what superhero thing have you been doing that you are not acknowledging? If you're exhausted and you don't know why, almost always you're doing some kind of superhero stuff and you're just not even giving yourself credit for it. And I think she's right. You know, it's frankly, we don't give ourselves enough credit for what we do. And I mean, that guy was in a type of hell. I'm not saying, you know, that perhaps there is another type too. I've heard that there are different types, but that would be a type of hell to relive your overdose, your death over and over again. You know, you need to be rescued in that case, I would say. And he was. So you're actually rescuing people when you do this. So we rescued somebody, two people, rescued both Ben and Tom, who got to go on. You need to acknowledge that. You need to pat yourself on the back for that and say, good job. I will do it too. Good job, everybody who participated. Good job. And you can still participate even in the replay. I think that Ben is probably going to go on to do what he really wanted to do all along and didn't feel he could, maybe. I think his burden lifted. He's going to be able to go get the kind of job he wants to get. Because a funny thing happens when you start getting rid of baggage that you don't need. Suddenly things start to work out for you. And if anybody wants to come on, there's the link. All you have to do is click it. You will be magically transported back to my backstage, and where I will hopefully see you. If I don't, please, somebody let me know that you're in there. And and yes, and please hit the like button and subscribe. Boy, you need to be a mod. Oh gosh, I don't have a way to make you a mod. Right on, mod. Da, 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 da. Yeah, it's not letting me. It's not letting me make you a mod. Doggone. Annie. Whoa, is it a magical box? It's a box from Nessie. You have to wonder. A little bit. Like I did it and I'm like subscribed and I hit like already, okay? Like I did already. Yes, you did. I bet you did. Oh boy. Thank you for subscribing, everybody. And when the video does finally come out and you can comment, please leave a comment, even if it's just, hey, because it gets counted and it helps other people find us. So, mischief, magical mischievousness. Thank you, Pam. Likes. So, I don't know who else is on. I don't know what else is on. This is going to be pretty much up to you guys how long we're on, because I don't care. I don't have anything particularly planned for tonight, except click the like doodad and ring the ding-a-ling. My ding-a-ling. my ding-a-ling, and help that algorithm. Algorithm. Who could ask for anything more? Okay, that's one of my favorite jokes. I hate it. I hate that I love it so much. Algorithm. Anyway, no, I don't. I don't hate anything. Right now, I don't hate anything. Really, I'm finding it hard to hate anything right now. I am pretty happy. 10 to 14 is not bad. That's right. You know, the other four might just be bots or something. Who knows? Um, like I was saying before, it was so weird. I took a video of this lozenge-shaped object, and then it kind of, the camera falls and looks at the pavement a little bit while I'm trying to get hold of the camera because it's a phone. And you know how that is. It's like getting a hold of the camera and trying to hold the camera steady when it's your phone and not really a camera. And and you know, trying to give stuff for, you know, size comparison, and you know, and this is what the star is coming in looking like. This is how it focuses in, and then this is the sunset over here, and then way over here is this object. So it is not Venus. This thing that we're calling a star here is probably Venus. But the part where it was clear for a few seconds is gone. I'm so upset. I have a few pictures of it. I'm going to post just the stills. But it was definitely a lozenge-shaped object. And so this tells me that somehow they can screw around with your media. So, you know, somehow your media can be screwed around with, and somehow that when I eventually the thing blurred out and became a circle with a hole in the middle and got real blurry, that must be another thing. It probably is some kind of AI algorithm that says, oh, they're looking at something they shouldn't be looking at. We should blur that. So, or maybe the thing itself did that. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. If anybody knows about this sort of thing, please let me know. But it makes it awfully hard to get a picture of this stuff. It makes it hard to get a video if they're going to be doing that. The Milky Way is beautiful. You look beautiful tonight. Yes. Need help with the doodads. Ah, it's a plant, you know. Oh, Pappy is in. Hello, Pappy. The algorithm's got rhythm. Dolphinus Pleiades. So nice. Big supper, Dolphinus Pleiades. You know what? A long time ago, somebody was telling me that he had a vision that we are actually related to the dolphins, the cetaceans, closer than we know. And he talks of a time when there'll actually be a, I don't know why this came up, maybe just dolphinus, but he was saying one day we'd find out that we're actually related, more related to dolphins than we think we are. I know that some guys sure behave like a horn dog like some of those male dolphins do, but yeah, when you get the blues, come on, get rhythm. Come on, get happy. No sticks named Stew. We will need our thinking caps on. You know what? You could just put all your caps on in here, but then it'd look like you're shouting. Is that a thinking cap? A dolphin tattoo. Yeah. You know what? That and those two beautiful dragonflies that I saw up on the Indian Mound. One was a beautiful metallic blue-green, kind of a teal green, and the other one was a beautiful metallic purple. They were just gorgeous. Ah, I hate to tell you, I wanted to take a picture of the trees while they still had their color. Today I go out there, it rained last night, and guess what? The leaves are down. It knocked the leaves off the trees. And so they're not nearly as pretty now, so I can't really do that. However, I can still take you on a fall walk through the bog. And there may be something there that still has, well, it's going to be interesting anyway, because bog is just an interesting place. But I really want to get out there and get you that a walk, at least one walk through the bog, and then in the spring I'll take another one, and you'll see it in the spring. Oh, you had your cat hat on? Oh, your ship got surrounded by a school. Gosh, you guys have had interesting lives. Ooh. And you had your cat hat on today when it was snowing. Ah, me and my cats. You know what? Dolphins, they like to play. They really do. There's a, somewhere online, there's a beautiful video about this dolphin playing with this little girl. Every time she would do a cartwheel, it would just get real excited and like, it was so cute. It passed right through you. Whoa, that is so cool, Jake. Got to believe in magic. Hmm. Oh, it was a Navy ship. Like over 300 dolphins? Wow. Hi, Denali. How you doing? It's so good to see you. I was just congratulating everybody on the beautiful job they did. I don't know, were you here for that, Pappy? Did you see what happened? For those of you who don't know what happened, Ben had a spirit attachment and he wanted it gone. And we as a group detached it and found out the name of the person that was attached to him, how it happened. Denali was really key in that. And we crossed them over into the next world. They were safely retrieved by a member of their family. And Ben was very happy. Felt like he said he felt like a new guy, which he was. So, it's like I think we're doing pretty important work here. We're really, and it wasn't hard, was it, folks? I mean, there wasn't anything really hard about that. Everybody chipped in, and I think the spirit, the lost soul, Tom, the earthbound, they're called earthbound too. That's another name for them. I think the earthbound had never really felt that kind of love before, had never felt so much love from people. That was possibly, hey, how you doing, Todd? That was possibly what ended up getting him on the road to addiction anyway. Is he probably did not feel, a lot of times I think addicts are looking to fill some kind of hole. And a lot of it's because they just don't feel loved, never felt really that they belonged or that they were loved. And so finally, when Todd knew that there could be that, I've run into people, living people, who went to something like a rainbow gathering where everybody loves you, right? I mean, the first thing they do at a rainbow gathering, and first thing they do at a rainbow gathering is say, "You're home. Welcome, you're home." And everybody is very accepting of everybody. And people think of them as, a lot of people think, well, they're just a bunch of lazy, dirty hippies. But actually, it's not necessarily the case. And they practice unconditional love more consistently than anyone I've seen, any group that I've seen. So really, and I'm not saying it's not for everybody. It's not an easy thing for everybody. But oh yeah, you missed a heck of a lot, Nessie. You missed. Pappy Two Bears did a poem. I did a song. We all did a crossing over and a clearing and a removal. Yeah, you missed a lot, girlfriend. You never know what you might miss if you miss one of my streams, I guess. And tonight I have no particular plan, but if you guys have something that you want to talk about, we can do that. Happy Veterans Day. Are you guys having a Veterans Day? Right. Strange what? Okay. Strange. I think he's talking about Strange Land. Okay. Oh, Chris, you know what? I was just so happy. By the time I had to get off the stream, I had to click the stream off. I didn't want to, but I was just, I just could live in that kind of high vibration. It was such a high vibration. I didn't want to come down, and I don't think probably. I bet Ben didn't come down for a while. I don't know where he is right now, but he's probably out living some kind of life right now. Bomber did a great job. You all did a great job. I think you all did a great job. Denali did a great job. And Aaron did a great job. And just everybody contributed something. Lucid was helping. Everybody who was there was helping. It was amazing. But the only thing is I have to sometimes stop Bomber because she'll run on. She'll go, it's like, Bomber, you can stop now. It's okay. Relax. We've done it, and we can take the discussion about salt into MeWe chat, and just let's celebrate this guy having his life back, because this is he didn't even know if he believed in this before. You got to remember how it was for you. Long time ago, maybe it's been quite some time, but before you really believed in anything, how overwhelming it can be when suddenly you're faced with the fact that something happened. Hi, Richard. How you doing? Yeah, and you kind of got to give. He didn't even see it coming, and Tom felt, yeah, he's very grateful. Yeah, and maybe that's the feeling I was getting, was like, whoa, what's going on? Yeah, I was getting that. So it's basically, you gotta let people ease into this, because it's mind-boggling at first. And if you try and give them a whole bunch of instructions and stuff, they're not going to remember it anyway. They're too high. They're high as a kite. you relieve them of their heaviness and their burden. They're high as a kite. And you try and talk to them about certain things, and it's just going to go in one ear and out the other. You know? Oh, what? Save the plan of the day for that day. Oh, yeah. Ben had a happy birthday. He got his reading and he got his. Oh, yeah. Several people earned their wings last night. Y'all participated in so beautifully. Well, that's just it. Is that. Oh, is Micah in? Micah coming in. You guys see it before I do. And here's YTFP. Hi. Hi, YTFP, Chris and Micah. Couple of reminders is when you are that high from this kind of work. And usually the practitioner is also pretty high afterwards. You're like, whoa. You do have to ground. It's true. Absolutely true. You have to ground somehow. So that is important. But it really is hard sometimes to want to allow yourself to do that because you want to stay way up there. And then when you come back to your existence, it feels like boom. It's like, oh, here I am in a regular existence again. But it's funny, every time you do something like that, you do climb a little higher. So what happens is your new and improved self starts to feel normal. And then you don't think anything's happening. But then you reach another level and then you start to get used to that. And then you reach another level and you start to get used to that. And, so eventually every level you reach will start to feel just like normal. And the higher energy will feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want to lose this. But as you move up, you'll just be continually gaining that. So you don't have to worry about that. It'll happen again. So Ben, how was today? How was today after the day after here? Can you tell us? Hi, Ken. Copious amounts in moderation? How does that work? Yeah, you sure can. Well, that's what I was saying, is when you feel tired and you don't know why, look at what superhero thing you did and that you're not acknowledging, because you've probably done something superhero and not even thought about it. Because so many of us do, and it's natural. It's just natural to us. And a lot of us don't even realize that everybody can't do that. Everybody doesn't know how to do that. It's not that they really can't ever. It's just that they don't either don't believe it, or have never been taught, or have been dissuaded against it, or something. It's not easy for some people to accept. And it's not easy for people to accept who they are either, especially if you've been told all your life a whole different story. And the remote viewers are constantly finding errors in history, how much we have been lied to about our history. Today was fine, good. I'm glad. Time warps. Yeah, it's not easy to get over all of the lies we've been fed. It's not easy to get over all the misinformation. It's it takes a lot. And then your ego will fight you. A lot of people, boy, make us so much trouble for themselves. For themselves. They think everybody else is doing it. But really, if you're standing in your own way, you're making your own trouble. And you may not even know you're standing in your way. You may not even know how you're doing it because you're taught that this is the way you do this. We're taught to be self derisive. We're taught to be very hard on ourselves and always be pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And really, that's not the way it works. It's flowing that works. Yes, lending your ear to a stranger. What you've seen in remote viewing, I bet it is, because what I've seen in remote viewing is crazy. Comparatively, yeah. You need to realize your ego is trying to help you. It really is. Makes a great crossing guard. This is the way I try and explain it to people. Some people say, kill your ego, kill your ego. No, you don't want to kill your ego. I don't agree with that. Your ego keeps you alive on the physical plane. That's really its job. But it oversteps its boundaries a lot. It doesn't know any better. It wants to, drive the ship when really it's just a crossing guard. It's meant to be just a crossing guard. Say, hey, look both ways before you cross the street. Hey, maybe you should look before you leap. Maybe you should make a few future plans so you don't paint yourself into a corner. No, that's what it's for. It's not. It's to keep you from doing stuff that's going to kill you. That's all. It's there to say, don't drink poison. That could kill you. That's what it's there for. It's not there to drive the ship, though. And the thing I liken it to is, it's like it's like you're in a car. Say you're in a car. Your ego is the small self, like a kid. And you're more like an adult. And your higher self is even above that, looking down on the whole situation, right? So higher self, deeper self, wiser self, whatever you want to call it. People have different terms for that. So basically, if you're letting this little kid called your ego drive your car, they're not going to hardly be able to see over the steering wheel. And what is just a little slight dip in the road might look like a chasm to them. And we're all going to die. We're going to die. And it's like, really, whereas, your more conscious self can go, oh no, that's just a dip in the road, because you're seeing from a little higher perspective. And then your higher self, your bigger self, can see way ahead and say, oh heck, not only is it just a little dip in the road, but just beyond there is a nice burger stand we should stop at. So keep going. But there's a pot of gold right at the end of the road. Just keep going. It's just, which of you are you going to listen to? And it can be the other way too, where the little guy is there driving, barely seeing over the steering wheel, and something looks great and wants to jump on that. And really, your higher self is going to say, you don't see, the trap that's set under there, though. That's the problem. So, you got to find some balance here. It's like that, though. It's like, so let your ego be your crossing guard. Let your ego do the job that it was made to do. It's you know what, if I'm looking at it from the Matrix point of view, I'm saying your ego is a program. It is your program. I know, how do they call it on Star Trek and some other places? It's basically the program that keeps you alive, that keeps you from self-destructing. Okay. Although sometimes it backfires on you and makes you self-destruct when it's not working right. There's that again. One day I got to get rid of this allergy to mold, I guess. Someday I got to work on that. Actually, it's better than it has been. I might be on the road to getting over it. So let your various parts do what they're made for. Oh, mold spores. Then there's like 500 kinds of pollen in the air right now here too, because I live in basically a wetland. So we got every kind of pollen here. Oh, no, it ain't that. I already had that. I already had it. Already had the COVID. I'm okay. I even had the weird, funky hair loss symptom afterward. So I had the COVID for sure. I had all the symptoms, and I thought it was just I was freaking out because I was moving. And I had it last fall, like sometime in the November, December area, before we really knew what it was. I just took it for, I was trying to move, and it was very difficult. And if it wasn't for help, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I had a lot of help with that. And now I look back on it, I had all the symptoms. And then I just thought it was because I was run down and really tired from all the stuff I had to do for moving and stressed out. It was really a long process. Yeah, chemtrails can also get you. I was outside today. Oh, COVID times. Oh, geez, let me tell you. COVID is like, this thing is just, there's so many things about it that just doesn't quite scan right. It really, the uptick of bad cases and deaths usually corresponds to the rollout of 5D. I'm sorry, folks. A lot of people have observed that. The place where this all started, Wuhan, they had just installed a load of 5D. They'd just gone all 5G. And then they had people dropping over in the streets. It seems like it works together. It seems like it exacerbates. One exacerbates the other. Thank you. So, gonna stay in blissful ignorance. Yeah, had it around the same time last year. I think it hit Ohio. And they just didn't tell us. Yeah. Yeah, and it can be so many weird things now. We're exposed to so many weird things. And they can say, oh, it's COVID. Well, how would we know? You know, I mean, especially since I think I'll tell you that story. I hope it doesn't get me in too much trouble. Remember, this is just all in game chatter, right? And it's just a story. It just happens to be a true story, but it's just a story. 73 and diagnosed with you know what, a lot of, and it's supposed to be worst among the elderly. And I know a lot of elderly that got through it, you know, and I'm elderly actually now. I'm in my 60s. I got through it. I didn't even know what it was. It was probably a good thing I didn't. Maybe I would be afraid. I don't know. It's kind of like being bit by a brown recluse. I didn't know it, so I wasn't scared. I didn't know, gee, I could die. Maybe I would have been scared. Know too much to be ignorant. Yeah, doggone. Yeah, I feel you there, Pam. Double shot. Yeah. You know, it's cool. Um, yeah, last year, bad flu in December. Everybody just thought it was a flu. Maybe it was. Maybe it was COVID. Who knows? They didn't tell us. A lot of people got it, I bet you. A lot of people say they're pretty sure they had it already, way before they even told us. And it must have hit Ohio because I had it, and Cookie thinks he had it. Yeah, and I've heard other people who are pretty sure they've had it. So, but okay, we'll tell you a story about a man named Jed. No, we'll tell you a story instead about a man named Jed. I will tell you a funny story about. First of all, we'll start in. Let me see. Where did this all start? The the thing is, we're not going to hear a lot of the news in the world, how the world is really responding to this, unless we get outside news from outside of the US, because the US news just will not report things. Um, no more involvement. Okay, nobody's asking you to, Ben. You know, if you ask me how old if you're only as old as you look, I guess I'm somewhere in my 40s, maybe. If you're only as old as you feel, some days I'm in my 80s. But 3 days he was twice as orange. Well, he must have been getting his beta carotene, I guess. Herd immunity. Yeah, herd immunity. And they try to say that doesn't happen. But I think it does. I think it is. Yeah, 70. You know what? Here I am 60 and people think I'm in my 40s. I might just stay here. Maybe I'll just stay here. And when I'm 70, maybe I'll be about the same. I don't know. Shooting at some food, and up through the ground came a bubbling crude. Okay, McAfee. I'm trying to think of the name of the country. President McAfee was the one who came up with the test for the COVID um, test kits that they got all from China. In his country, they had a sudden spike from 43 cases all the way up to 400 and some as soon as they started implementing the Chinese test kits. And he didn't trust it. And who can blame him? Who can blame him? And it's okay, Ben. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to make anybody do anything they don't want to do. What we did was a gift, and you said okay, and we did it, and it was a gift. Okay, don't worry about it. This is the way. This is the way it works. Don't worry about it. Um, just glad that you're better, and that he's better. So, yeah, like I said, I understand it's a lot to take in. All of this stuff that happens is a lot to take in as you're starting out. The minute you realize that it could be real, your world changes. So, that's what I was saying. Got to give people time to assimilate to what they've just witnessed. When they see a Bigfoot, it's the same way. All of a sudden, they see a Bigfoot and they're like, ah, these are real. And your mind goes, it's like it just blots out. And it's like you have to assimilate to that. It takes a little time. When I found those things, these reptilian things were out in our backwoods, I'm like, no, my mind had to get, I had to get myself straight, man. It took a while. I was flustered. I tell you, I've seen a lot of things. That really that surprised me. I was freaked out for a while. And Duke can tell you that because I was talking to Duke. I was like, Duke, I don't know about this stuff. I know about fighting stuff in the astral. I don't know about this stuff. This stuff can turn physical. I don't know what to do about this. And he's saying, well, you may need a gun. And I'm there like, I don't have a gun. I can't carry a gun. I'd scare people to death if I were carrying a gun around here. I can't be doing that. So, I didn't know what to do about it. It was a lot. It was like, oh my gosh. Well, first of all, to find out that I'd been mind speaking with Bigfoot for a long time and didn't know. When I'm out in the woods, half the time I was mind speaking with Sasquatch. And I just thought spirits of the forest. I didn't know it was a Sasquatch. And maybe they didn't want me to know either because maybe they didn't want me to be afraid. I don't know. They told me, well, we don't have any problem with you, so you were always safe from us. You didn't have anything to worry about from us. Oh, the trauma-based mind control stuff. That's like the MK Ultra and stuff, which is totally real. Oh yeah, and I hear that not all reptilians are actually bad. I know somebody who claims he is a reptilian. He told me right out. One of my boyfriends. And he told me right out, and he was weird, and everybody wondered why he was so weird. Well, he told me right out he was really a reptilian. He was really a reptile. So, and I'm like, okay. And, at the time, I'm just like, okay, I guess everybody's something. I wasn't going to, argue with him about it. I have a tendency to be very accepting of, well, okay, if you say that's what you are, perhaps you are. I don't know. Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay. Okay, Pappy. Have a good shower. Oh, geez. Cha, she dated one once. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, well, he was actually a very nice guy, but strange. And everybody was always wondering why he was so strange. He just seemed to be out of place everywhere. There were all kinds of things about him, like he was obsessed with his teeth, which were so white that they glowed in the black light. And he wanted his hair to be, it's very strange. Once he got a chance, he wanted to dye his hair purple, which is not strange to me because I like purple hair. I dyed my hair purple, but it was just, there were just little things about him that were very strange. Had a great voice. How does one start that conversation? Yeah. Well, it's just that the ones that have no conscience are psychopaths, and psychopaths are dangerous. So if they are the psychopathic type, and have no conscience, they're dangerous and they're not good. It apparently not all of the reptilian types are psychopaths, only some of them. And apparently, I did meet somebody online who said she was a reptilian hybrid, but a pterosaur, what she called a pterosaur. And the pterosaurs were a small reptile race that were an intelligent species that lived during the time of the dinosaurs. It was an extremely reptilian time. And they were sort of like us now among the mammals. So they were kind of at the top of the mammal intelligence chain. Of course, I know some people argue about that, but you know, dolphins may be a little smarter. We're not sure, but I guess the reptoids lived a long time ago, were a society kind of like our society, and they were dominant among the reptiles, but they were smaller. They were not these giant creatures. They were. I read about them ages ago, but to meet somebody who said that she was a hybrid, and she said one of the things about hybrids is the descendants of the apes have, she says, if you do this and you squeeze like that, your tendons should pop out in your arm. That was because you needed that to swing from vines in the trees. So you spent some of your life in the trees. Whereas the reptilian hybrids would not have those. They don't have them. So we would be really, really hard, we're not really good at doing that swinging from bar to bar thing. Would not be our thing. Well, I don't have those. So for all I know, maybe I've got some of that in my makeup too. No idea. I can't prove it one way or the other. Yeah, there was a ninth column, wasn't there? Like a ninth column or something. What did they call that? The resistance. Yeah. Some of them have even sworn. T.L. Swan says some of them have even sworn to protect us because they do not agree with the psychopathic ones, and they are now our sworn protectors. So yeah, they're not all bad. They're weird though. I mean, if there's anything like the people that I've met that say they are, they're not quite like people like us. A little different, a little weird. You'll say, you know what? You'll say, really nice guy, but weird as all get out, but really nice guy. Or girl, really nice person, but weird, you know? So actually, they might even fit in here, some of them. Land Before Time, I didn't see that. Maybe. Or I saw it and I forgot. Oh, you got sick in December too? Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a hybrid. I don't know. I think maybe I am sometimes. What, that you're weird? Real nice guy, but real weird? I don't know. You know what? I think we're all kind of crazy, mixed up kids. But I think maybe the reason that some of us have a tendency to come by our gifts easier, maybe we have been given some, I would say it's more like a gift though, than I would say it's a gift that we may have been given by ETs or some other species, because they all seem to be telepathic for one thing. seems like almost all of them are telepathic. They have mind speak. And they have other things that we don't have. So maybe those of us who have it, maybe it is a gift from them. I don't know. You're just plain old fashioned weird. Well, there you go. That's good. I know. You do. I got a feeling that you are, that your family has been, family line has been messed with. I have a feeling mine has been too. I have a feeling Bombers has too, and I have a feeling all of us who have these things that we do that are kind of weird. Um, I think we've all been, I think, gifted in some regards. It's gifted. Um, these things from our brothers, maybe, you know, because the girl who was the reptilian girl, she said her family was very protective of her, and they wanted to have hybrids because, well, there are a lot of things that mammals have that reptiles don't have. For one thing, we are warm-blooded, and here's a question for you. Sean Connery died, correct? Can you get a sense of where he is? He's not in the ether? Wow. Jake thinks he might have ascended. That might be mouse pants. Interesting. You haven't found them. Oh, Alex is in the ether. Hmm. Well, let's see. Sean Connery. I'm seeing a picture of him in my head. It actually, Denali, he seems like he's in the ether to me. I'm seeing him. He's saying something about how he might be having a different experience than some. Apparently, he knew some things before he died. Yeah, he says, not everybody would have anything quite like my experience. And I'm not sure I really understand the rest of that. Huh. So you feel like he was hybrid and went back to his ship. Well, here's an interesting thing. It feels like that with a lot of them. A lot of these celebrities, yeah, and they show up, right? They do. Um, when Michael Jackson died, I'm going to tell you this story. When Michael Jackson died, I felt sorry for him because I always felt that he didn't really do anything wrong. He was absolutely aghast at what they were accusing him of and absolutely believed that no one would ever believe the charges. I do not believe he did anything to any child, hurt any child. I don't think so. I really don't. And I just felt bad for him because people just made his life hell. Uh, once that came out, and it was like a witch trial. Once you're accused, if you're a very important person, a very high profile person, and you get accused of something like that, it follows you around forever. And he was acquitted, but it follows you around forever. once you get accused of something, no matter how nice you are, no matter how many fans you had, he was Michael freaking Jackson, who had, won all kinds of awards and, you know, philanthropist and so on and so forth. And look how people turned on him. And I remember watching a whole lot of things about his life one day and saying, I went out and I put on my earphones at the time and went out for a walk, and I was listening to the music going down the sidewalk, and all of a sudden, right in front of me, there he is, Michael Jackson. I was thinking to myself, Michael, I'm really sorry. If I ever had any doubt in you, I'm really sorry, and I don't believe you ever did anything wrong. I don't believe you ever hurt any children or anything. And sure enough, and I said, and I'm so sorry the way the people treated you. And sure enough, he showed up right in front of me. He did. He came in doing that. He did that spin that he does. And he rolled his hat down his arm and he said, well, it doesn't matter because I'm just fine now. Put his hat back on and poof, disappeared. And I'm like, wow. It was great. It's like, if people would have been watching me, then I just stopped in my track because I was kind of, grooving along, and I just stopped in my tracks. So I was like, did I really just see Michael Jackson appear in front of me? And I had to take that in a minute, like, They rewrote the history books. They so did. Yeah, for the parents to bleed him dry. It's sad. Yeah, Mike was a scapegoat. He was. He's a sweet guy. He was a nice guy. He was really a nice guy, and so nice, he could not believe what people were saying about him. And, oh yeah, he was terribly hurt by it. Terribly hurt by it. Because he was abused as a kid, and he would never do that. He never would want anything like that to happen to a child. And I mean, when I saw how his life went, after all that he did, I was kind of in tears for a little while for him because all that he did, and that's the way that they treated him. Seemed like they really had it out for nice people. They had to make everybody look dirty. I think that was part of the idea. All of the nice people had to look dirty so you would lose faith in humanity. I'll tell you something. I'll tell you a little secret. What the dark side wants is for you to lose faith in humanity and yourself. The dark side wants you to not trust your brother or love them or be able to understand them. The dark side wants you to believe that we're all vermin and that we deserve to be exterminated, because then some people will allow it to happen, thinking they're doing the right thing for the planet. Mother Earth, we are not killing Mother Earth. Mother Earth is a big planet. We can't kill Mother Earth. We might be able to give her a bad sunburn if we do the radioactive thing. We're not going to kill her. She's huge, and she's smart, and she's very resourceful, and she's old, and she knows how to take care of herself. She is a big girl. No, you're not killing Mother Earth, okay? Yeah, it's different when you tell someone you met a dead celebrity. I met David Bowie too. He was cool. Cool. Oh, so cool. Yeah. I may tell you some stories about him. At some point, I met Alfred Hitchcock. This was great. Got to tell you, Alfred Hitchcock. This was lovely. Alfred Hitchcock. I was just making dinner or something, and all of a sudden, Here comes Alfred Hitchcock through my living room, and this was here at this new place here, and I'm like, wow, well, this is a surprise honor. Hi, Alfred Hitchcock, right? And he said, that would be me. And, and he was just, uh, he had that accent, the cute accent, and he had this look. I said, he looked much happier than I saw him usually look on his program. He usually tried to stay pretty sober looking, pretty pan face, blank face looking, but he was smiling. And I said, well, to what do I owe this honor? And he says, well, there is a movement in the afterlife that those of us who had many fans and supporters would come and show our appreciation. It is a fan appreciation movement among us because we feel that we want to give something back. And at least we owe you a thank you. And so we decided that each of us would start to visit our fans and let them know how much we appreciated their support. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool to find out that you're still doing things on the other side, and you have these movements and you have these groups and you do things. And he says, yes, well, it turns out the dead are actually quite lively. And I said, well, do you have any messages? Can I give people any messages from you? And he said, he thought a minute. He said, if you want to know something about the future, you may want to revisit some of your favorite speculative fiction. Which of it is your favorite? I shall leave up to you. And then he turned and left. Freddie Mercury turned up at my place. Yeah, he showed up with David Bowie one time. David brought him in. David shows up here a lot. He really does. He showed me all kinds of things. David told me all kinds of things I should know. And he backed it up. He showed me videos and stuff explaining a lot of things. I'm like, oh, really? Is that what was going on? Really behind that? Okay. No, he's over quite a bit, and Freddie's been over a few times. Let's see, who did I have? You wouldn't believe Pete Steele showed up for a while. That was really weird. Uh, Pete Steele. I was looking at an article about him, and there he was. It's like, whoa. Pete Steele was. Let's see, who else was here? Prince. Prince showed up, and that wasn't a normal send off either. He didn't just die in an elevator in his home. He didn't just die there. He was offed. That was, and I'm wondering if Michael is telling the whole truth. I'm wondering if he didn't do something to like fake his death, because people can show up to you without being dead. A person's spirit, a person can remotely visit you without actually being dead. So I wonder sometimes if some of these people didn't really fake their own death to get out from under something. Like Michael was out from, he was just getting beset by things at every turn. What if he just wanted to get out from under it? I can't tell you. But I kind of feel like something happened there. Richard Martini. Yeah, David Bowie comes over all the time. And well, we had a relationship online. I knew him online. I knew David Bowie. I knew him way back from the days when I was an internet DJ, and I didn't know that his nickname was Sailor something or other back at that time. And I used to, when he'd come in, I'd say, "Hello, Sailor." He really loved that. And later on, I'm hearing that that's what his whole audience would do, would greet him like that. "Hello, Sailor," because he had a big online presence. He was all over the internet. So Leonardo da Vinci, cool, very cool. Richard Martini, I don't know Richard Martini. I have to look that up. Yeah, Prince showed up. Um, oh, you can't hate me. He'd probably show up for you eventually if you develop your skill. He'll probably show up for you. Um, David loves his fans. You know what? That's what he told me when he showed up. I that was the strangest. When I feel comfortable, I will tell you the whole story, maybe, of how David showed up for me. But he had remembered me all the way back, and he had said he always wanted to meet me in person. He didn't, he always had wanted to know who I was in person, because uh, I don't want to say any more right now. It's personal. But it was really interesting how he showed up. I wrote about it. I wrote some things about it. I don't really feel safe to publish yet. Maybe I will someday publish that. But that is what he said. He said that he was going around finding his fans, and the way that he did it is he follows where his music goes. He somehow encoded something in Black Star because he figured his fans would be listening to Black Star after his death. So he was just following that vibration to see where it went and meeting all of his fans who were playing that. I was playing it at the time. And when he showed up. And so everybody who was playing Black Star probably got a visit whether they knew it or not. JFK Jr., yeah, I don't think JFK Jr. is really dead. I don't think so. I have always had a feeling that he just took himself out of the limelight because he was prime candidate to be killed, him and his family. He figured he'd just take himself out of the limelight before somebody else did it. Martini Zone, Hacking the Afterlife. Jennifer Schaffer, you know what? I'm going to have to look that up because I saw one that was talking about celebrity hauntings. She was awful. She didn't even have it right by half. She certainly didn't have Michael Jackson right. There was somebody on doing that kind of thing, and I was sitting there going, that wasn't Michael Jackson. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. Yeah, I know how that is, Ness. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. I appreciate it that he spends some time with me. Robin Williams, he is cool. He came by too, yes. Thanks for reminding me. And when he's around, I can't shut up. I'm really act goofy. Um, it's okay. Hugs, Nessie. We gotta help Nessie. Maybe one of these days, if she lets us, we can help her with her chronic fatigue. Maybe we can eliminate chronic fatigue. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, because um, this person, I could tell she didn't know anything about the guy and she was just guessing about everything. She was just making it up. You know, and a lot of people do that, unfortunately. But I think I'm going to have to get in touch with these people because possibly the thing is I was within feet of him several occasions, 3 different occasions. I was very near him. One of them, he was rushing for a show in New York, and he was dressed as a very tall older woman. You've probably seen that if you saw there's one of his videos about boys where he's playing his own shoe bop girls in the background. He's dressed as 3 different women. Well, the older lady, that's who went by me in in the lobby of this place, of this um it was in New York, but it was like in a great big rush. Later on he would say, "Ah, if I had just been David Jones, I would have seen that beautiful woman there and I would have talked her up a bit, for sure. But I wasn't David Jones. I was David Bowie rushing not to be late for my own concert." He said, he said, "I suspected it was you." He said, there was something that just kind of drew my eyes over there, but I couldn't stop and say anything or do anything. So he probably saw some of my pictures and said, "Gee, I wonder if that's her." $1 million hairs? Somebody explain RH factor for BPD. Actually, it's a factor in your blood, Ben, that the RH factor is whether you have the rhesus blood or some people don't have that in their blood. And there is speculation that those that don't have it in their blood are hybrids. Um, Unproven by science, of course. I mean, science isn't going to get behind that, but if anybody has a better explanation of that or more complete, but it can be looked up. There are plenty of information about that, Ben. And they say that the non-RH, the RH negative people are more easily influenced in that by the ETs and different species. There's just so much about it, and people go back and forth about that. Oh, Linda Bennett. That's another one I felt sorry for, was Princess Diana. Oh, geez, that was horrible. I mean, when I hear what happened to her, all the stuff that they did a lot of weird stuff to her too. I hear there was things like drugging and that she didn't realize she was marrying into a family of reptiles, not good reptiles. I'm sorry, but the royal family are not the good ones, from what I can tell. I never tried to remote view them because honestly, I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want anything to do with them. Yep, someday, big afterlife party at Misty. Yeah, well, yeah, it has. It was. We did do that. We did do that. Michael has a place on the other side, apparently. And I have a place too. I kind of made my own little, it's called a dream. They tell you it's like a dream palace or your magical palace where you go, your astral palace. I have a place. But Michael has a place, and we all partied at Michael's place one night. A whole bunch of people were there. A whole bunch of people showed up. Yeah, like, I'm half afraid to answer that. Maybe we should remote view exactly what was going on when that first happened. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to have to, maybe we should find out what's really going on with that. Did you all go home or were we sleeping? I don't know. I had to come home because I was still, alive. I was there astrally. It was, it was funny because David is the one that took me there, and he said, "Do you realize how many living girls are actually in here?" And I said, "How many?" And he said, "Just you." He said, "Just you. You're the only one in here from that realm." I'm like, "Wow, I'm honored." Um, Everybody else was from the other side, so it was kind of interesting. Mikey, you think you're going to be in Hades? What do you think you're going to be in Hades? Is that where you want to be? I don't know. I hear Hades isn't that nice of a place, so I don't think I really want to be there. I don't think I want to go there. I don't think it's my kind of place. I got a really nice place on the other side. It's all it's all pretty decked out, so I'm not worried about it. Really nice place. Yeah, you know what? This poor Tom guy, he was in what you might call hell, reliving his OD. What would you call that? That would be a type of hell. Maybe, yeah, that's what we hear about. Hades, a planet. I'm not sure. You know what? We need to find out. Is Hades a planet? I don't know. Somebody looks that up and finds it, let me know. We'll talk about it. We can talk about all of these things. I don't know that Hades is a planet. Hades was originally, um, wasn't it Greek? Hades was a god. That's right. Hades was actually a god. I believe a Greek or Roman one. I can't remember. This is from the Greco-Roman pantheons. Hades, god of the underworld. Hades was a place, the place of the dead, the underworld. He was the lord of the underworld. Yeah, Tom Sell was reliving the OD over and over and over and never getting relief from that until we came along and until Ben decided to release that. And then he was free. And now that he's free, he's out of hell, in effect. So, we busted somebody out of hell. Yeah. Hades was the Greek god of the underworld. He's the one that took Persephone and she ate some pomegranate seeds, 7 pomegranate seeds, and so had to stay there with him for 7 months of the year. And it's kind of interesting because when I saw a summary of that legend that was saying actually she was a queen. She is a queen. She is still, as far as we know, queen of the underworld, Persephone. So, and they're married, so they're mates. So, it wasn't actually a bad thing that happened to her. I saw somebody give a whole different point of view of the whole Persephone story, but Demeter got upset. Her mother got upset because, you know, her daughter had been absconded with, and then her family had to bust her out of Hades. And but actually, she rules as a queen in Hades for 7 months of the year, so she's a queen. Anyway, yeah, brother Zeus, yeah. Yeah, Denali, that's true. People who die suddenly can get stuck in there in a loop, reliving their last days. They don't understand why they're dead, and those in the light don't know they're dead. And it sucks being stuck. Yeah, see, those in the light, I'm not sure what you mean. Why don't you come in here, Denali? Will you just come in here and talk a little bit and get over the whatever it is that's keeping you from coming here? In my eyes, Google Master. Um, all you have to do is click that link and you'll be backstage. And you can explain what you mean by that. And we can talk about that, getting stuck in a loop. Boy, if you find yourself in a situation where you think you might be dead, okay, I'll explain it like this. So maybe you can get some idea of what this is like. When I got here, really the place is not haunted. It's pretty clear. But there was a few things that showed up eventually. One of them was I hear a woman carrying on in the parking lot and she's just having a fit. She's angry, she's upset, she's frustrated. Now it's snowy out. There's a little bit of snow out there and it's cold, right? And so I'm looking out and I'm seeing this woman in a nightie and a robe and slippers, and she's having a fit out in the next parking lot over, which is more of a hospice type thing. And so she had made her way almost over into our parking lot, but she was like right there in between the two places, like right there. And so I decided and I realized all of a sudden she wasn't a live person, she was in the astral. And I said, uh-oh, I think we have something going on. We better find out what this is. So I sent part of myself out there remotely. And I said, hey, what's up? And she's just cursing. She says, these these people are so rude. Nobody's paying any attention to me. Nobody's taking care of me. I can't believe the way I've been treated. I have been treated so badly here. I'm going to sue somebody. And I mean, she just was carrying on like that. And I said, well, let me ask you something. You're standing out here in your nightie and a robe and slippers. Um, and it's snowing. Look around, it's snowing. Uh, do you feel cold? And she goes, no, I feel fine. And I said, okay. Feel pain anywhere? Well, no. You feel that cold breeze blowing in your face? No. And it was starting to come to her, yeah, that is kind of weird. And I said, do you know that you died? And she said, I can't be dead. I said, look at the snow. You're not leaving any footprints in the snow. And she started to cry. I can't be dead yet. I can't be dead. I can't be dead. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But you are. And I crossed her over much like we did with Tom last night. We found a relative of hers who could take her through and comfort her. And but it was just, she was just so shocked that she was dead. She didn't know, and she couldn't figure out why nobody would pay any attention to her, and no one would take care of her. No one would listen. That's what it's like for an earthbound. So every earthbound that you can cross over, you're doing them a big favor, because once they cross over, they can come back and visit, but with a much different viewpoint, with a much better attitude and everything. If they're stuck here and they're earthbound, it's very painful. It's very scary. It's very confusing. So, yeah, come on in, anybody who wants to come in. Um, Honestly, Portable Tree was saying, yeah. So this lady didn't know she died and was just having a fit because nobody was taking care of her, and obviously she had died of something. And it felt like, you know what? I don't even always. It's so common now. I don't even always ask all of them why they died. I don't even go into what they're. For a while, I was actually doing mass crossing overs because there was just so many that I didn't have a chance to find out everybody's name. And it was one of them, when I did like 35, 40 people, I didn't have a chance to find everybody's name out and find out. They all told me the stories, though. They all had stories. I picked up all their stories. And one was a little girl waiting for her parents who never came to get her. I don't know why they never came to get her. Perhaps they also didn't know they were dead. I don't know. Maybe that's how that type of thing happens. But I guess if you miss your exit, maybe, you can go on and not know. But I know enough to tell you that it's not automatic. And we all think it's going to be totally automatic. Maybe in some cases it is. But somehow, if it's supposed to be automatic, something got broke or something, because it's not for everybody. It sure isn't. Um, yeah, she was in hospice for something. And wow, we've already been on an hour and 38 minutes. You're right, time is moving fast. Yeah, she was in hospice. I think she was dying of cancer. And I think she actually died and didn't know it. And no, not cancer. What was it? Oh, you're going to correct me? It was cancer. It was pancreatic cancer. Yeah, pancreatic cancer. Ah, that's why I was getting diabetes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh, talking days and weeks and months. Oh, yeah, Todd. Honestly, just all the way around. Seems like things are just flying. Oh, well, thank you, Linda. I don't know where Bomber is right now. I hope I didn't upset her. But I had to stop her in the middle of poor. I just felt like we were giving Ben too much to think about right after this happened to him. You got to have time to assimilate. You got to have time. You can't give people homework right after something like that. It's too hard. It's just too hard. Their brains will explode practically. The brains are practically already exploding once you do something like this. I mean, think about the first time you found out something was real that you didn't know was real. How did you feel? It took a while to take it in. Like I said, when I found out that I had been mind speaking with Sasquatch most of my life, I'm like, what? Do I really want anything to do with this? I don't know if I really do. Because they're going, well, you can go out and do, Sasquatch hunt. I don't want a Sasquatch hunt. I don't know if I like this. Somebody being in my head. I don't think I like it. I don't think I want it. That's the way I was at that time. Um, Now I'm a little more accustomed to it. I've assimilated it a little better, but all of these things, you got to take it slow when they happen to you. When you first realize, the first time I realized, I'm going to tell you this story. I had written, Whitley Strieber was one of the main names in abductions, and he wrote a lot of books, and there was a movie based on his life and everything. And he had he was a very big name among abductions and abductees and stuff. It wasn't just Betty and Barney Hill. Whitley Strieber was actually trying to contact. He was actually okay with the contact. And he was saying it's not really a bad thing. I mean, he was not looking at it like it was a bad thing, just a thing, you know. But he was talking about how they would, about hybrids and how they would treat women who were the mothers of the hybrids, what would happen to them, and how that was all. Maybe I'll go into that sometime, what that's all about. Um, but everything he said started to sound familiar, like my mother's stories before I was born, and my brother. You know, well, gosh, I didn't know I had a brother. Um, my mother's stories about even how I was born came into question. But I'm reading this and I'm thinking, well, this is just really weird. It's, you know, um, I can't believe this. It's too crazy. It's too far out. The only way I would ever believe this is it would have to be somebody telling me that was close to me, who I trusted. It would have to be their firsthand account. It wouldn't be one of these friend of a friend, one of these people maybe doing something to write a book. It would have to be somebody I know well. I was thinking of all this. I would really have to, it would really have to be a steady story for me to believe it. Well, the very next day, my mother and I go out to talk about my upcoming wedding, and she goes, "Well, you're old enough now. You're about to get married. You're old enough to know." We're sitting at like a Burger King or something, or a Wendy's. Wendy's. It was Wendy's, and we've got our burger. I got my burger in one hand, and I'm eating fries. And she says, "It's time for you to know about your brother." I'm like, "I don't have a brother. Do I have a brother?" And she said, "Yeah, you had a brother, but he didn't live. He was one of those, what do you call him, like a waterhead?" And I said, hydroencephalic. Hydroencephalic? She said, "Yeah, like that." And I remember just sitting there with my burger in one hand, a French fry in the other, and just like, I was floored. I was absolutely, because that's exactly what a hybrid looks like. And then when I said, well, what happened? Well, he didn't live. Well, then what happened to him? Like, is he buried somewhere? She says, no, really. No, but I had dreams of him. Oh, yes, this beautiful blonde haired child, with great big blue eyes. Just a description of the hybrids. I mean, she was describing a hybrid. I'm like, this is my mother telling me a story that fits with what I just read, that I said I wouldn't believe unless, and she fits all the criteria. And this is my mom telling me this? I just sat there. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. My mind was just like going, this is crazy. I'm dreaming. This can't be happening. This can't be real. I don't think I want anything to do with this. I don't want to know any more about this. But I got to know more about this because, wait a minute, I had a brother. And, it was like it just went around and around. But it really shook me up. It really shook me up to think all this time. I said, why didn't you tell me? She said, well, I wanted to wait until you were old enough, and it just, no time seemed quite like the right time. But if you die and go to heaven and you see somebody who says he's your brother and he's blonde and so on and so forth, it's like he might be your brother because you had a brother. And I'm like, oh, geez. Honestly, that's the kind of thing that it doesn't go down easy. So I don't know. I don't know. So anytime you have these things happen, you got to realize that, I mean, just like this woman who had to realize she was dead, it didn't dawn on her that she was dead. We take a little time to assimilate. When her dead relatives came to collect her, then she believed. She realized. I mean, that's usually the way it is. So, oh, she's probably upset because I stopped her yesterday. She's a very, very sensitive girl. I love her. I really love her dearly. She's very, very, very sensitive. I thought about that. I thought, oh, she's probably upset. Now she probably won't come in for a while. But what am I going to do? I got to steer the ship. That's the way it is. Tell her we love her. Hope she's feeling good. Maybe she'll answer me. Maybe she won't. Honestly. That's another thing. You've got to admit your gifts or they get stagnant and you get sick. I think this is part of the reason she has problems. Is because she can't quite bring herself to wrap her head around who she is and what she can do. I don't want to talk about her behind her back too much, but it is a lot to take in when you realize that at first. About your brother, what did he say? Or can you not tell us? And he just drops, yeah, when they just drop a bomb on you, here you go. Here's a whole part of your life that existed that you didn't know existed. all of a sudden, out of the blue. What do you do? You know what? This is a great discussion. Nobody else is coming in though, and I think I may end it around 2 hours this time and just try to come in at another time tomorrow. And because I think, there's going to probably be some other people's stuff coming on that people want to go to. Um, I don't know. I'm not even sure what all's on tonight. But, I don't want to be on too long tonight. I want to get a little bit of sleep. Last night I didn't get hardly any sleep. I was too excited. So if you don't want to, oh yeah, my bro wasn't his son. Oh, geez. Yeah, that's what I mean. Takes you a little bit. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm gonna, yeah, start to wind it down. I appreciate you all coming and listen to me go on about this. I hope it was illuminating and enlightening. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you realize how miraculous you all are. I hope you realize and accept and finally celebrate who you are, who you really are, because you're all really awesome. Yes. Oh, Pam, and when your brother died, it was confirmed. Yeah, that would be something. You guys are awesome. You really are. I'm so happy with you. I'm so happy to know you. I'm so happy to feel safe, to say what I have to say, to do what I have to do. I know I can tell you guys stuff that I can't tell just anybody, and I appreciate that. Okay, sweetheart, I hope not, because I love you and I want you to know that I think you did great. Okay, sweetheart. I'm just winding it down now, though. I'm winding it down because I didn't get much sleep last night. So I'm going to stop it at 2 hours, which is about a little less than 8 minutes. Yeah. Family isn't really about necessarily bloodlines. A lot of Native American tribes would take people in, and once you were, like for instance, the Cherokees, once they decided that you were a Cherokee, once it was decided that you were adopted and you were a Cherokee, you were a Cherokee. You were a family now. And it didn't have to do with blood, it had to do with spirit. It has more to do, I think we are a tribe, and it has more to do with spirit than bloodlines. Yes, Bomber. Everybody's in here asking where the heck you were and saying how great you did. You and Denali. Yeah. So I do too. Todd, I really do. These are good people. They're wiser than many. They're more informed than most and not terribly judgmental. It's uh it's a safe place to come and be yourself. Your weird self and fly your woo flag. Yeah, chat is going good. I kind of hate to stop it, but okay, it's up to you. Do you guys want it to go on another hour? It's all up to you. I was just seeing the numbers decrease. And I was thinking maybe people are getting tired and needing to go. I guess you wanted to go on a little longer. Okay. Chat is going really good, so hey, I'm not going to stop you. I got time. Wow. Very interesting. I wonder what kind of messages you'll get. Hi, Julia. Flying a pirate flag. Here comes Julia. Okay, why would we stop early? Okay. If you think we might get some more people in here, I'm game. I don't mind. Or if you guys want to continue, I'm fine with it. As long as I don't want to be boring people. Nobody else is coming in here, so I don't want to just blather on and bore people. So, but if you guys want to go on, let's go with it. I certainly don't mind. Oh, I'm fine. I might get something to drink. You know what? I think I'm going to do that, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something kind of tricky and clever. I'm going to try to play you. I think I'm going to see if this works. I'm going to try to play you a song that I sang. Do you guys like Guns N' Roses? I did a song called Patience. You might have heard of it. We did it for a demo, and on it you'd hear me and my two friends, Tanya and Darren. And Tanya has just surfaced again recently, so I want somebody to hear this just in case she gets to hear this. You like Bomber's voice. Let's get married. Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine now. I got a lot of rest today, and I took a nice walk outside, so I'm okay for a little while yet. Yeah, okay. Let me see if I can get it to where you can hear it. I don't know. You guys got to tell me if this works or not. And I do not know. I have never tried this before. Ugh. So this is scary. If the stream goes down, I'll restart it. Oh, yeah, she has a great voice. You know who else? Julia has a great voice. Julia should come in and talk. Julia has a great voice. Um, I'm going to mute it just so that I don't blast you out. And so let me mute for a minute and you guys just talk among yourselves. Can you hear that? Somebody let me know.
'cause I'm missing you, and it's still alright to smile. I think about you every day now.
You can hear it? Is it loud enough or too loud? Okay, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to get something to drink.
Sad lover, take your time. The lights are shining bright. You and I got what it takes to make it. We won't fake it. Oh, we'll never break it. I can't take it. Sit here on the steps 'cause I'd rather be alone. If I can't have you right now, I'll wait. Sometimes I get so tense, but I can't speed up the time. Now there's one more thing to consider. Sad sugar, take the time, for the lights are shining bright. All we need is just a little patience. Sad lover, take it slow. Lights are shining bright. You and I got what it takes to make it. We won't fake it. Oh, we'll never break it. I can't take just a little patience. Yeah, just a little patience. Yeah, just a little patience. Yeah, just a little patience. I've been walking the streets at night, just trying to get it right. It's so hard with so many around. I just don't like being stuck on the ground. Baby, baby, say I ain't got time on my hands. Oh, I need you. I need you. I need you. I need you. Oh, 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 oh.
Well, that was just enough time. That worked out. I got some grapes. Whoops. That one I'll save for another time. Hi, I'm back. Yeah, Pam, I am. We're trying to talk Pam I am into coming in. Well, thank you. Yeah, I love this shirt. We were going to put it away for the winter. Oh, it's a t-shirt. You need to wear sweaters and stuff. And I said, I just can't. I just can't bear to put it away yet. Or maybe ever. I love tie-dye. Ah, now I miss some stuff. Who? Whose videos? Who are we talking about? Somebody just type a name in, will ya? Gonna eat some grapes in the meanwhile. You know what? It's funny. I find that grapes are very hydrating when you're thirsty. A lot of times they're even more hydrating than drinking water. Potato time. Google Master. I must have missed something. So, Pappy's channel. Yeah. God, now I totally forgot. Okay, I'm happy now. My needs are met, and I totally forgot what I was talking about or what anybody was talking about. Yeah, I like Pappy. He's a cool guy. He is the Googler. That would be maybe his villain name, the Googler. Maybe we should call him that, the Google Meister. Chris, the Google Meister. I want to hear that, Pam. I want to hear your contactee story. Like I said, we got to get these things off our chest to somebody, and a lot of times finding a safe person to do that with is hard. This group's pretty safe though. My channel is small enough, I guess, in a way. My channel's small enough that the whole world is not going to be privy to it, but people like us are going to hear it, just people like us. It's a very selective, the Woo crew is a very selective bunch, so it's maybe not for everybody, but I don't know, maybe someday, but as of right now, you're probably only going to have a small crew, small but hearty crew here. Well, yeah. Somebody might be talking about you, Pappy. Deeper than the ocean. Now I'm upset. You think he's deeper than I am? That's pretty deep. I'm so jealous. You guys. You kids played together nicely. Don't make me get out the iron skillet. Let me tell you, iron skillet will sure make an impression on you. my goodness. There you go. You know, spooky. That was another song. Love is kind of crazy with a spooky little girl like you. And that was the song that my husband insisted reminded him of me. It was a spooky song. And to him, I was spooky. Hello, Squeaky Clean. That's a new one for you. Now we will know Pappy Two Bear Squeaky Clean. Really? Honestly, I got a song about that. Oh my goodness. You're gonna make me pull out that song maybe. Maybe I'll pull out that song later, but I got a song about the iron pans. And yeah, I might have to do that one. It is a strange way to express love, but you see, my grandmother worked for the finest restaurant in the area during the Great Depression, and she had 8 kids, and she had to work, and she managed to work her way up to a job as a head cook at a 5-star restaurant called White House. Major chicken place. Everybody went there. Anybody who came through the area ate there. So she got to meet all the celebrities. Every celebrity that came through there was one of those places that had pictures of celebrities all over the walls. And my grandmother met them all because she made great food and they would always want to compliment the chef. And so she would always get to come out and meet them. And she used iron pans. She was a very strong woman. The women who used these iron pans to cook had to be very strong physically. These suckers are heavy. And so she had these great big arms and strong arms. And the funny thing about my grandma too is when she came over to babysit me, we never watched cartoons. She wanted to watch wrestling. My grandma wanted to watch wrestling. So oh geez. Well, usually she didn't actually have to apply it, or if she applied it, it was lightly once. And that made a big enough impression that you never argued again. You never lipped her again. But you got to realize my cousins were pretty rowdy. So she had to do something. They were big, strong, rowdy boys. And so she had to keep them in line somehow. And every now and then, one of them would get impressed by an iron pan on the butt. You could really knock somebody out with one of those suckers. So, I can't imagine that, having to live your life with everything made of cast iron. That must have been something. Annie Waka Waka. Fozzie. Yeah, you smack them good one time, just once. Not even too hard. That'll make an impression for sure. And don't have to worry about that again. Your grandmother loved watching. You know what is funny? If your grandmother and my grandmother are up there watching wrestling together, wouldn't that be funny? 11 kids. Yeah, my grandma had 8. Yeah, the Swedish chef. Bork, bork, bork. Ooh, the chocolate mousse. Get the mousse. Get the mousse. He's ladling chocolate over a mousse. Craving Swedish fish now? You guys are crazy. Wow. 23 pregnancies and raised 18. Oh, I bet she was tired. And this is a funny thing. When you think about, I think about how it is to raise a kid these days. How much trouble people have just raising 2 or 3 or 4. Back in the day, people were raising 8, 10, 12, 18. Wow. What would that have been like? 14 kids. Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, the women pretty much worship men. You know, they would always kowtow to the men. I think they had to be made of cast iron. I've said that before. They had to be made of steel, maybe. No, I call them the cast iron generation. Those women had to be tough as nails. People say, oh, the weaker sex. Oh, really? Oh, really? Let's see, you pop 18 people out of yourself and then raise them, and then, I mean, all of the things that go with that. Yeah, I had a lot of cousins because that side of the family was extremely prolific. Now I don't even know where anybody is left. Really? One of 19. Your grandmother was one of 19. The 7th kid in the family. Wow. That was another thing. A lot of people lost a lot of babies. And the worst thing is if they were religious, they would get harassed for it. They would try to say it was something you did wrong. Sometimes people would act like you must have done something wrong to lose that child, which would even add to the horror of losing a child. But it was very common for kids to not make it through the pregnancy, for a spontaneous abortion to happen. It was very common for children to die young. She was an iron skillet. Honestly, yeah, mine was too. Yep, mine was too. Exactly. Yeah, you know what? I picture it that way. I picture it that way. After a while, wouldn't it just be like you're a human Pez dispenser or something? You know? I mean, yeah, it's like I can't imagine it. People think they got something going on now. It's like, geez. Whoa. I can't imagine. Yeah, and then they were encouraged to have more and more and more. until they couldn't have them anymore. Oh, God. Oh, geez. Ah, ouch. Yeah, they didn't just have families, they had litters, practically. Oh, and she looked like E.T. Oh my gosh. You always were in a hurry, weren't you? That's a terrible visual. Oh, he paved the way. He was a big baby. So, just kind of widened the freeway, did he? Right. Drove herself to the hospital on her 9th and was home to cook her husband dinner. These stories, I'm not kidding. There are stories aplenty like this from the old days. People don't even know what that was like. Yeah, there'd be like a kid you'd lay the board on the head and it'd just go down the hill, to the littlest one. You know what the other funny thing was? They really did do this. Um, when it was time to take a bath, that was every Saturday, and they start with the baby, and then it'd go down the line. They'd all use the same bath water because you were bathing in a wooden tub or later on a steel tub. Oh my gosh. And they would be washing the kids each in the line. Everybody be using the same. You know what? There was some comedy like that where they were all using the same wash water, and there was all kinds of things floating in it. I don't remember who it was. I don't remember which one that was. MeWe's jacked up. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, because I use MeWe more than anything else. Hopped out the window to skip the hospital. You mean just like you'd leave, like some people leave a restaurant, skipped out of a restaurant. Oh my God. On a ski-doo. Oh my God. And people think they got something now going on. Jeez. Yeah, I know. We think we got it. We got it so hard. It's like, yeah, exactly. Mine too, bummer. Right. Yep. Well, that was what happened back in the old days. My mother did that too. Yeah. Honestly, comparatively, because people try to tell me, well, people were weaker, they died younger, and I was like, and so they're weaker. We're much stronger now, and I'm saying, oh, really? You think so? Have you taken a look at what the conditions were like back then? They did not have modern conveniences. They did not have cars. They did not have running, some places they still didn't have running water. They had 14 kids. They had iron, cast iron to cook in, if they were lucky. They had to chop wood. They, and it just goes on and on. And you really think that somehow they were weaker than us? How many of us would be able to do that for a week? How many of us would be able to do that right now? Yeah, and it was all outhouses. That was another thing. You had to grow your own food. You had to cook all your own food, pretty much. I mean, that's amazing, you know? Yeah. Now we don't want to go without a toilet, a modern toilet. Oh, I know. I love my cast iron too. Oh, I love my cast iron. You know what? Okay, Grandma, I'll do it. I hear it. That's the one I do tonight, I guess. Okay. Let me get ready here because I'm not at all sure that I'm going to have to find the words because I don't have them by heart yet. I just recently wrote this. Okay. Notes. There it is. Okay. Now, forgive me, this is going to be a cappella because I don't have the music to it yet. I don't have the chord progression yet exactly. Yeah, it was a great way. They used corn cobs, they did. And you know what? Somebody surprised me recently by saying, "Oh, corn cobs are great. You just chuck them out the a hole in the, you know, you chuck them out a hole in the side wall, and they'd fall in a great big pile, and then you just rinse them all off, and they'd be ready to go again." They would reuse the corn cobs. Who knew? Corn cobs were reusable. Whoa. So, oh, not really. Oh, really? Not really. Okay. You guys ready for a song? Do you guys want a song? Because this is the Iron Pants song. And I kind of feel like maybe I'm getting a hint that it's time to sing the Iron Pants song. But I'll let you decide. Do you want to hear it? Okay. Well, like I said, I haven't quite finished the tune on it yet, but this is the way the words go. Yeah, cowboy toilet paper. Exactly. And I thought maybe I'd tell it in kind of a character voice. Well, let me tell you a story that involves a little bug. I don't think you will like it much when it gives you a hug. Yeah, I think I'll do it more like a poem with a character voice. You may not see it coming or know when it is near. Some say the worst about it is the overburdening fear. They're saying that it's novel, and I say maybe so. You gotta write a bloody novel about the things that they don't know. Back in olden days, a child could catch a lot of things. With care, they'd get better and go out to play on swings. And if you ate a piece of dirt, my grandma said it wouldn't hurt, but only make you stronger. Maybe live a little longer. And no one dared to argue 'cause she brandished iron pans. Brandished iron pans. Now once I ate a marble when I was just a lass. My mother was in terror, but Grandma said, "This too shall pass." And sure enough, I lived to sing a lot of silly songs. She lived to be quite old herself. I think she wasn't wrong. And none should dare to wonder why I brandish iron pans. So some say I'm a heretic, an outlaw's life for me, 'cause I don't believe the kind of crap they teach us on TV. No, I don't believe the kind of crap they teach us on TV. You'll not find me setting fires like a paid-for common thug, nor fainting from CO2 poisoning with a mask upon my mug. 2020 came in all crunked up, screaming, "How do you like me now?" Tipping everyone, upsetting all the apple carts, tipping every sacred cow. But gladly I'm a heretic, because my mind is free, and I still reject the kind of thing they teach us on TV. I still don't believe the kind of crap they teach us on TV. And I brandish iron pans. That's it. What do you think? Yeah, that's the thing. Thank you. There, thank you. Yeah, that's sort of my tribute to my grandmother. Iron pans. Um, and a true story. It is a true story. That is really what happened. I mean, when every time one of the women would call my grandmother, the kid ate something weird. And my grandma'd say, "Well, was it poison? No. Was it sharp? No. Yeah, don't worry about it." And then when my mother called about the marble, she honestly did say, "Don't worry, this too shall pass." They told that story for a good long while. It's like, gee, I'm glad it could be so much fun for you. uh, well, I noticed that too. It seems like stuff gets through. It doesn't really, to me, one of the things I love about it is you don't have to worry what you use with it. You can use a real knife, fork, whatever. You don't have to be gentle with it. The Teflon is not going to come peeling off and poison you. I can cut meat up right in the skillet. It's not going to hurt it. I can use real cleaning implements. Heck, if I want to, I could use, it would take off some of the seasoning, so I don't want to, but I could use steel wool on that if I had to get something off of it. It wouldn't hurt it. Nothing hurts this stuff. I mean, this stuff is fairly impervious once you season it well. and it's not rusting, it's really hard to hurt this stuff. So it's like worry free if only it wasn't so heavy. But honestly, it's great. I mean, and the way it holds heat so that you can cook dinner and just leave it sit there and it keeps it automatically warm without any kind of warming plate or anything. It's great. It's wonderful. Thank you, Mom. Yeah, it's completely safe. It can't hurt you unless you drop it on your foot or something. Yeah, isn't that interesting? And then they plunge it while it's still red hot down into fat to get that black coating on it. So that's actually burned on there. It's like when you have I have one right now that I'm doing that too. It's like all of this grease spilling on one of those brand new shiny metal pans, and it forms a all that black stuff. It's like that is the surface you're cooking on. Turns out that's natural Teflon. It's completely non-toxic though, and you can't hardly blast that stuff off. Um, yeah, a little rub of butter on. I have a stick of butter. I keep it in the freezer because I really don't use butter for much except cooking and greasing pans. And I just take out a stick of butter and go whoop 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 like that, and things just pop out of there just fine. Hey, how you doing, Mike? Mike's in here, MCAT. Yeah, it's really, really cool. Put the link up to what, honey? What am I putting the link up to? Oh, come in. Gotcha. Duh. Come on, girl, do your job. Do your thing. Do your thing. Okay. Yeah, I don't like aluminum at all. When the stuff starts coming off, the stuff that's under there is really poisonous. I don't want anything to do with an aluminum pan. I got rid of them all. I have a couple that are purple that I use for show. I'm probably just going to hang them on the wall and use them as decorations. I have a purple toaster too. Neener, neener, neener. I might sell it all though. Honestly, I might sell my purple cookware to buy more time on this streaming service. Okay. There's there is the link. Who wanted to come in? Oh yeah, leftover bacon grease. Yeah, I have a purple toaster. I have a purple pot, a purple pan, and a purple toaster, and I have a bunch of purple stuff. Purple's my favorite color, so I got purple, all kinds of stuff. I love using bacon grease. Bacon grease is good for so many things. Don't put Pam I am on. Yeah, that Pam cooking spray. Yeah, I know. I do. I have a PayPal. Maybe I can find it on my phone because I had trouble getting in. I couldn't remember. Problem is, I couldn't remember. I don't use it often enough. Let me see if I can find it, and I will put it in case anybody has a couple bucks to spare someday, which I hope we do. I hope we all get prosperous. Maybe we need to do a thing sometime so we can all get very prosperous. Ah, yes, honestly, Chris, I gotta say, I got a purple, I got a purple bathroom set, all purple. But right now I'm rocking the dolphin look. I got ocean all over the bathroom. Yeah, I use a lot of olive oil too. Use a lot of olive oil. Does Popeye know about this? Oh, well, that's sweet. That's very sweet. Let me see if I can get into my own PayPal. Would be nice. Can I get into my own PayPal? You guys just talk among yourselves. Act like we're having a live stream or something. And the feral cats. Did you feed? Oh, that's so cute. Todd, you're cool. I love spinach too. And you know, I love turnip greens because it tastes a lot like spinach. Oh, and by the way, turnip stems, or not turnip, beet, beet greens taste a lot like spinach. And beet stems make a great veggie type pasta, like pasta substitute. So you can put sauce on them, cook them, and put sauce on them like pasta. It's really good. Farm will come over and beat my bathroom up if I have dolphins. Why? I missed something then. Yeah, I know. I always heard that it can get into your food. It's actually good for you. Well, in any event, whoops, I missed. Okay. Um, Let me see if I can hack into my own account. Yeah, it's iron. It's not going to be bad for you no matter what. Even if you get to the bottom of it to where the iron is, it's not going to hurt you. That's why I don't like aluminum. Aluminum is bad. And they didn't tell us that when they came out with Teflon. The Teflon would be wearing off. We were all being poisoned for years by this aluminum crap. And the thing that they made that they kept it on there with. Uh-oh, Carrie's trying to come in and it says not connected. I can't do anything about it on this end either. If I try to, it says the guests will need to connect their cam and mic before you can add them to the stream. Yeah, why does Farm hate dolphins? Aw, you're gonna have a kitty cat condo. I have a friend who did that. She's not backstage. Unfortunately, Bomber, it says she needs to either start her mic or her camera in order to come in. So Carrie isn't backstage right now. She tried to come in for a minute. I saw it. 11:11. Yeah, I kind of took that, but it's an in joke. Yeah, exactly, Pappy. That's why if they try to give me that as an adjuvant in a shot, they might get some buckshot up their butt. I won't do it. They start, like I said, they start coming around trying to vax like that. It's like, not me. I really, I don't have a lot of these weird diseases that people supposedly get because they're older. I don't have a lot of these older people diseases because I don't do a lot of things that people expect. I don't drink diet pop. I don't drink the high frou-frou stuff. I don't touch any of that. I won't touch the Splenda. I won't. There's just so many things. Don't eat a lot of fast food. I just stay away from. I don't have the obligatory some of these obligatory diseases that everybody gets supposedly when they get older. My mother and the women on my side of the family, on my mother's side of the family, got um, diabetes type 2 fairly young. I still don't have it, and I'm in my 60s, and I'm not going to get it. I've decided it's like, no, that's not going to happen. And I'm not going to do the stuff that gives it to you. And one of the things that I noticed is if you watch, I used to be on this bus where a lot of elders would ride and they go shopping and they get themselves pop. It would always be diet pop, right? And the more diet pop they would get, the sicker they'd get until one day we didn't see them anymore. So when I see bottles of pop around somebody's feet, I went over to my friend's house and I saw like 4 liters of diet pop around her feet. And I said, girl, you're going to give yourself diabetes. And she said, worry about it when it happens. I'm not going to give myself diabetes. It's all diet. I said, you're going to get diabetes. I'm sorry. Because it isn't good for you. Your body doesn't know it had anything. That's why you can drink 4 liters of it. You're better off with just having sugar, and then your body flips the shut-off switch and says, okay, I can't eat anymore. I'm full. No, and you don't even want anything to do with sweets after you get to a certain point. It's like, blah, right? That is your satiation switch. And artificial sugars do not trip that satiation switch. That's how people can drink buckets of pop and not know how much sugar they're actually consuming. So it's like, hells no. Not me. Ain't gonna do that. Dang, I may try and see if I can find it through my mail and get there through my mail. See if I can get. So, really, you gotta. A lot of the traps that trip up people who are older, that they're going along, they're following orders, they're doing what they think they need to be doing. It's not good for you. You have to be able to think. You have to be able to think it through. Most of you are pretty smart that way, though. Yeah. Well, you know what? It's a funny thing. Cane sugar, raw cane sugar, is not really that bad for you. Because for one thing, you can't have that much of it. You just won't want that much of it. It'll make you sick. You get too much, you start getting a little bit too much cane sugar, real raw cane sugar, you're going to stop. Because you're going to be like, ugh, after a while. And it also has a chemical in it that protects your teeth when it's not refined. Literally, it comes packaged. Like if you're eating the sugar cane, because they used to give that to kids, pieces of sugar cane. The kids had great teeth because the sugar cane, there's chemical in sugar cane that will actually protect your teeth that is refined out of it. And so actually, it's better to have a little bit of real raw sugar or cane juice, real cane juice, than artificial sugar because it'll make you stop. It'll just naturally make you stop eating it or drinking it. That's why you see those old bottles of pop some of them were only 6 ounces, some of them were only 12 ounces, and 12 ounces was meant to be split. And then they upped it to 8 ounces, and they started making it high frou-frou corn syrup instead, is because then you could start to drink more. And I remember when they started having buckets of pop, that's when they started having high fructose corn syrup. So I'm telling you, that stuff is absolutely poison. It will do many, many bad things to you. Oh, come on. Ah, okay. Um, all mail. Search. Hey, I'm trying to search something here. So really, so many things we're told are good for us is just bullshit. Um, and honestly, let's see if I can get in there. Okay, I found it. I found some mail from PayPal. Let's see if I can get into my own PayPal. I like pink salt. I really do. That's my favorite right now. It's making me accept cookies, and they're not even chocolate chip cookies. Dang it. Is somebody coming in here or not? Lesbian commune? I'm not going. I like guys. Sorry, I like guys. Ooh, yeah, mortar and pestle. I got a mortar and pestle. I love it. Yeah. Well, my grandmother, like I said, she was very popular. She got a free tour of Coca-Cola, and the guy that took her through told her they did not let their own kids drink it. He showed her the stainless steel drums that were eaten and etched away by the Coca-Cola and said, I won't let my kids have it. I don't drink it myself. So grandma made a very big issue of it. She would yell at the mothers, her kids. Don't let your kids drink that stuff. She'd say, you're doing wrong. It's poison. She's right. I have fun in the lesbian commune. I'm like, what? A plastic baby that's green? Oh yeah, Baby Yoda. Oh my God, Baby Yoda. John, her Baby Yoda. Oh my goodness. Now, Let's see if I can get in there. Okay, I'm just about there, guys, hacking into my own. Hacking into my own account. Okay, something wrong here. They don't believe I'm me. Well, doggone. Now I'm trying to get back there. Okay. Ah, you little devil. When the backsman attacks, you can't take it back. When the backsman attacks, you can't take it back. When the backsman attacks, you can't take it back. It's a change you can't see. I don't want the kind of ink on me. I wrote that song too. That had really pissed some people off though, so I don't really want to do that one. I don't want to anybody to think I'm dissing them in their opinion. Uh, just goes on and on. Just goes on and on. They just want you to do all of this stuff. Come on. Get in there. Okay, this is called dead air, and you're not supposed to do it. But I know you guys are chitty-chatting away, so it doesn't really matter to you. I think I'm going to turn on some music. Hang on. I'm sorry, I was about to play something I'd probably get in trouble with it because it's probably copywritten. I shouldn't do that. I don't know if people have heard the song. I don't give a fuck. It's a great song. You can find it on YouTube, and it literally is a song. I don't give a fuck. The lyrics are great. They really are. And the video is really funny. It's really choice. Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Oops, must not have made a match. Okay. I'm just about there. Now they're finally gonna let me in. Okay. I am in to my PayPal account. Send in request. Okay. So okay. And I can't find where I can't find it. How you do the PayPal me? Does anybody know how that works? Da, 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 da. They make it really difficult. I'm kind of glad though. And you have each other. Ah, da, 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 da. Oh, okay. This is it right here. I've got it for you. I'm finally going to resolve this after all this time. Because it's such a pain in the butt, I haven't wanted to do it. But it is time. It is time. There you go. That is my PayPal me. So anyone wanting to PayPal me or being able to PayPal me, that's it. And thank you so much for bearing with me there, because now I finally have this resolved. Because it's just so it is just so hard to once you don't, once you something happens and they're going, oh, strange activity on your account. It's just so hard to. Okay, so there is the link. We now have the link. Now, the invite link. Here's the invite link. So, someone wants to get Pam going? I thought we were going to hear from Pam. Okay. Whoa, if cats can do that with women, I missed something. I missed something. I'm going to have to read back. Oh dear. Yeah, that's mine. That's my PayPal. That's not YouTube. That's my PayPal me account. So that is not, they're not going to take their percentage out. That goes direct to PayPal. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, help people get their kitty home. That's nice of you. The kitty coming home. I know. I don't know what to do about it from here. So we're having some technical difficulties. Oh, wow. Thank you. Send me cabbage. Great. If somebody else sends me some smoked sausage, I can make some great smoked sausage and cabbage. I'll bring it to our next potluck. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate that you would think to help me. You know what? I don't ask for pay for hardly anything I do, and I'm told I should because I am darn good at what I do. But a lot of people just can't afford it that need it, and I can't turn people down that need it. It's terrible. It's like, yeah, I don't even think I need Super Chat. To heck with Super Chat. To heck with Super Chat. I don't need it. Yeah. We were talking astrology last couple nights. I'm not really an astrologer, but I know enough. Like I said, I can tell you enough. We'll have to do an astrology show. I can tell you enough about astrology that you can look at a chart and get something out of it and know what you're looking at and know what it means, you know, without going really in depth. And then if you want to go more in depth to it, you can. But I'd have to be prepared for that, and I'd have to see if I can find my stargazers. Uh, Secrets from a Stargazer's scrapbook or notebook or something is very good. I recommend that absolutely because it's very friendly for people who really aren't astrologers and don't know what they're talking about. You know, pets are. Here's something about my cat that I found out. Yeah, you're right, Bummer. They're telepathic. And the thing is, my cat would drive me kind of crazy. Um, yeah, I'd clean off an area because I'd be thinking of putting something there. And my cat would be watching me do this. And so I had that spot in mind, and I'd go and get the object, and she would be sitting exactly where it was wanting to place that object. And eventually I realized she was picking it up. Anywhere, even if I wasn't cleaning it off to set it there, but I was going to set something somewhere, she would be sitting right there. She was picking it right up from me, man. And she thought she was supposed to be sitting there. She was seeing it in my head, and she thought, oh, this is where I'm supposed to sit then. Yeah. And then one time I wanted liver. I couldn't figure out why I wanted liver. I didn't really want liver, but liver kept coming in. And my cat wanted liver, her liver treats. She was telepathing to me, where's my liver treats? I mean, yeah, this happens all the time. Yeah, I have Google Chrome. You want to come in for a while, Bomber? The feral child of the woods. Ah! Thank you. That will certainly help for this month. That's fine. You know what? Just the fact that you love me that much. And one of the things I want to start is monthly for your birthday. I'm going to give each of you a reading. So just like I did Ben. So when your birthday comes up, you come and let me know. And don't lie. And you'll get a free reading for your birthday. Yeah, he'd give you a CAT scan. Pappy, that's great. You actually could give people a CAT scan. Yeah. You know what? They know, and dolphins know too. Many times I have heard people talking about dolphins healing them. Animals frequently know where you hurt too. I've heard about there was around here actually a place that was an animal rescue, no kill facility, and they had a dog that they called Shaman Paws. This dog was a Reiki master in a little fur suit. So Shaman Paws, Shaman Paws, they figured out this dog had potential. When they would Reiki a lot of their clients. They would ask, "Do you want us to use Reiki? You know, non-standard medicine, standard medicine, non-standard medicine, homeopathy, Reiki," and it's where I took my pets because you could get Reiki and homeopathy for them, and so they found out that the dog would come up and put his paws on too when they put their paws on somebody, when they put their hands, and the dog would come up and do the same thing. And when the dog would do it to people, the people would say, "Wow, there's some kind of energy coming from the dog." Sure enough, the dog was doing Reiki. The dog was doing Reiki. And he was strong too. So there is really no reason why animals can't do Reiki. And there's no reason, and if they can do that, and a lot of them also seem to have the ability uh, to detect when there's something wrong with people. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons people would keep cats and dogs around that were magical, is to help them notice when something was around that shouldn't be there. So, because cats and dogs will usually spot things before you will. They're still aware, you know. Isn't it amazing? She said, talking with her mouth full like she's not supposed to. I'm such a rogue. Mm. Talking with my mouth full. And later I may run with scissors. A rebel. Oh, hey, Mary. Good morning to you. Yeah. Right, because Reiki literally means God's love. And that is one translation of Reiki, God's love. And it's funny because you will feel a little bit different Reiki. There's a female Reiki and a male Reiki. The male is hotter. The female is cooler but more tingly. It's kind of interesting. And it's good to have both. And yeah, our four-legged, you can say what you want. Your pet, if you have taken care of them, your pet loves you. They do. Your cat, your dog, no matter what you think is going on, they probably love the heck out of you. And it's just they show it different ways. Yeah, and they'll watch over you. That's um that's the thing. I've seen pictures. See, I had a cat when I was a kid. I don't even remember this far back, but I do know that cat purrs put me to sleep. I mean, it's my favorite white noise. But what I didn't know is when I was a baby, I had a cat that watched over me. My mother had a cat, and everybody said, "You can't let cats around babies. They'll suck the life out of them," and weird stuff. No, the cat never jumped in my crib. Cat never did anything like that except only one time, and it was to kill a spider. My mother found a spider there. So they never, but she would always tell my mother when I was fussy or I needed my diaper changed or something was going on with the kids. So she was like a babysitter. And here I find out that a lot of times on that side of my family, the Native American side, had a tendency to use animals as babysitters. Pappy Two Bears, did they do that where you come from? Did the women use animals to help them babysit the kids? Because I guess grandma used a swayback horse, an old swayback horse. She would send the horse out with them so that if anything happened, somebody could get on the horse and get somewhere for help. And the horse would also watch out for snakes. So she would actually use the horse as like a babysitter. And my mother used a cat for a babysitter. If Pappy is still here, it won't let me send PayPal. PayPal won't let you send it to me? But I did all of the things that's necessary for that. Okay, I'll have to figure out what happened to my account. Well, they said that there was some kind of suspicious activity, so maybe I should check and see what they were all so on about. But yeah, I changed the password and everything, so it should be okay. You know what? I heard that, but I have not found any corroboration for that. Yeah, I haven't heard any corroboration for that. Um, oh, you had to, something happen? Oh my goodness. Oh, really? Well, Marie, you're a very strong person and you're a strong force for good. Mary, we have to get you out of there. Okay, let me see if I get it, and if not, we're gonna have to do something about it. Wait. Yeah, you might want to send a small amount at first to make sure the dang thing works. Um, okay, wait a minute. Now it wants me to log in again. I just logged in. Will you quit? Oh my God, I can't believe they're doing this. This is just so annoying. They're making me sign in again. They're going to make me sign in again. No, it won't let me into my own darn account. I have to stop because if I do it too many times, ah, arg. You want me to change it again? Okay, fine. Wow. Amazing. No. Mm. Oh my goodness. Ah, ah, ah. Is it under Elizabeth Rutledge? Elizabeth Rutledge. Hmm. Sent me $5. Is that you? And then it doesn't link me back to where I need to be to do that. I don't believe this. I really don't believe this. This is cray cray. It's in there. $5 is in there from Elizabeth Rutledge. I cannot believe this. Boy, they're really putting me through it here. I guess I should be glad because that means it would be a pain in the butt for a hacker too to go through all this, although when money is at stake. I suppose they wouldn't quit until the job was done. Ah, I cannot type it in. Damn thing. Okay, and that one doesn't match somehow. Unless you do it perfectly, everything just right. Elaine Clifford sent $5. Thank you. Okay, yes, it's letting me in now. Elizabeth Rutledge sent me $5. Yeah, thank you. Yes, it did work. Todd Joseph Sears sent you. Seriously? Thank you, Todd. Oh my gosh. I'm blinking. Oh my gosh. You guys, Todd just sent me $100. Thank you, Todd. Yeah, that'll help a lot. That'll seriously help. Wow. What? Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Okay. One of those was you. I'm sorry. Yes, that's me. I am sorry. I didn't even think of that. Duh. I am so sorry. Okay. Everybody forget I said that. Oops. I'm going to have to cut that out. Maybe I can go cut that out. I don't know how to do that. Yeah. Yeah, I won't call you that again. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I know how that is. I was like that for so long. I wouldn't let anybody know my name. I was afraid. I had so much happen to me. I understand. So I guess this is Todd. Thank you, Todd. I hope I didn't screw your name up too. Sometimes I'm an airhead, you know. It's that Aries. No, I'm kidding. Aries is a fire sign. Had to hop onto the sidewalk to avoid the boneheads. Yeah, boy, I'm slow on the uptake sometime. Thank you, Todd. Yes, that will really help a lot. Wow. Yeah. Well, that's wonderful because honestly, like I said, I hardly ever charge anybody anything because so many people just need stuff and they can't afford it. And I just got out of the habit of asking anything for what I do because I don't want to deny anybody any help that they need. So when people donate to help me keep going, that really is wonderful. That means you believe in me. Thank you. Thank you. Gordon, which one's Gordon? Is that Pappy? Thank you. Thank you, Lucid. You know what? I think I'm about two too. We've been on over 3.5 hours, and it's going to cut me off at 4 anyway, so it's about time for us to shut this down. I'm on PayPal speed dial. Well, thank you, love. Wow. I'm going to have to shut it down. So start saying your stuff to each other, and remember, we can continue this in MeWe chat. We can continue the chat. And I want to thank you all for coming once again. It's been an honor to be with you, and I think you're all amazing. I really do. I'll see you guys at MeWe or SOR or wherever it is you're going from here. And here I go. And like I said, I'm giving you a little vamp time here to say goodbye to each other. This is Ocean making waves. Now go out and make some waves of your own. And truth is where you find it. And I hope you're finding it here. And you're always welcome at my campfire. You guys are the best. I love you. Thank you. Yeah, it does. Thank you. I'm honored. I'm honored to be with you all. Okay, here goes. Closing it down now. The healing harmony fire. Call Carrie to help her change her setting. Yeah, somebody can. Yeah, we got to get together with Carrie somehow to get her fixed up. We have to get together and get her fixed up. You too, love. Okay.